All right, so you should be able to see my screen now. This is the portal image that I've been working on. Remember, now it has a picture of this kind of desert land. I put the waterfall picture in, and then it has that picture of a parrot. Remember to erase any of the backgrounds of things. You're going to use this scissors tool. And then we also talked about this dodge and burn tool, which if you remember this dodge and burn, it lightens and darkens your picture. So if I have lighten on and I brush over something, it's going to make it brighter. If I have darken on, it will make it darker. If I click over to the sponge and color tool, I can increase and decrease the vibrance, so how bright something is, the saturation, which is turning something either more black and white or more vivid colors, and also the temperature of it, meaning it's adding more yellows and oranges, or if I'm decreasing the temperature, it's adding more blues and greens. Another way that you can adjust your picture is in your layers panel. You can add an element as a layer. So let's say maybe I want to add an overlay. I can choose the overlays that have the little yellow on it are the premium ones. You will not be able to use those overlays. But let's say I want to add an abstract light. Maybe I want to add this one. I can choose the transparency. If you move this to the side, you can actually see what this element is going to look like on your picture before you click that you want to actually add it. So you can play with the transparency of it. You can play with if you want to flip it in a different direction. If you want to rotate it, you can rotate it. And then when you exit out of this, it will add that element on. And then you can treat this layer just like any other layer. And let's say I want to move this over to the side. You can move it wherever on your picture you want. You can change the transparency of it still if you want it more transparent or less transparent. You could change the blend mode. I think most of them are automatically in the screen mode. But if you want, let's say, to darken your picture instead of lighten it, you can play around with the different blend modes with these elements that are meant to go over your picture. There's also if you want to add a shape. So if I go to layer, add element layer, you can add shapes to your pictures, you can add stickers, you can add borders. Let's say I want to add a shape. Maybe I want to add, let's say, just a corner in. I can add that element, and then I can drag it wherever I need to on my page. These are just preloaded things in the program to experiment with. You don't necessarily have to use them. I don't know that they will go great with this portal project, but some of the other projects, I think these elements added in will definitely be beneficial. So again, to get to the elements, you're going to image, or not image, you're going to layer, and you're adding an element layer. And that's some of the preloaded things that are in the program. There's a whole bunch of different stickers that you can get to. If it has the little crown, that means it is premium and it's not going to let you do the premium ones. Once it's added in, remember you can play with the transparency of anything, and you can move them wherever you would like. Also, you can adjust the entire layers, brightness, temperature, saturation. So the same way we could go down here to the sponge color tool and to the dodge and burn tool. If you want to do that to the entire layer at one time, you can go up to adjustments. Let's say I want to change the hue and saturation of this picture that has the waterfall in it. I can adjust the hue and saturation of the entire layer at once instead of individually changing specific parts of it with that paintbrush part of either this dodge and burn tool or this sponge tool. Are there any questions about this so far? All right, then make sure that at the end you're going up to File, Save, and then make sure you're flipping it to a PXD or PXZ file when you save it so that it saves all of your different layers. If you save it as any of the other 3 web file types, it's going to flatten the image out and you're going to lose all the different layers over here. Once you save it, make sure that you are transferring it to your Google Drive, because remember the Chromebooks are deleting your downloads occasionally to free up space.